And thank you for staying up late with us here on The Factor Uncensored. We have a lot of great topics and great guests as well. Is it targeted intimidation or a legitimate voter fraud investigation? Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's office says they executed multiple search warrants for homes across Texas last week. Some of those homes belonging to members of LULAC. According to a statement from Paxton's office, the raids were a part of election integrity probe stemming back to 2022. LULAC is one of the oldest Latino civil rights organizations in the country. They are now demanding the DOJ, Department of Justice, step in and investigate. Joining us here on The Factor Uncensored tonight to talk about this, LULAC number 60 member and former Houston City Council member Robert Gallegos, CJ Alves, the Vice President of LULAC Education Council 402, Melissa Rascon, who holds dual citizenship with the U.S. and Mexico, and the Executive Director of FIEL Houston, Cesar Espinosa. I want to welcome you all to The Factor Uncensored. First, Cesar, let's begin with you because you were also targeted here in the city of Houston, very specifically. Your thoughts about this and what we're seeing from Attorney General Ken Paxton.
So what we're seeing is the Attorney General abusing his power to go after people or organizations or entities that he does not agree with. So this should worry all of Texans because he's using our taxpayer money with the office that he holds to push his own political agenda. So, you know, just like we were targeted about a month ago, we have seen him target other entities that he does not agree with, and it's just a repeating factor in his.
And for those who are not familiar with your case and how you guys were targeted, I reached out to you but you decided not to talk then, but what happened in your case with FIEL here in Houston?
Well, we were targeted for supposedly, and I will speak for the Attorney General, but he claims that we were electioneering just because we were empowering the community to go out and vote and things like that. And at the end of the day, a judge sided in our favor, but we hope that this is the end. But knowing the crusade that the Attorney General Ken Paxton is in to try to intimidate our community, we know that this may not be the end.
And Robert, should people be pissed off about this?
Heck yeah, they should be pissed off about this. This is something in regards to taxpayers' money. In regards to the no fraud investigation, I mean the no fraud in regards to voting, Ken Paxton has spent $2.2 million in last fiscal year, and they've only closed 3 cases. That's $2.2 million of taxpayers' money. This year, a fiscal year, is going to end in August 30th. And now they've already spent $1 million, and they've only closed 2 cases. So last week, for them to intimidate and go to 5 households, one of them was Miss Lydia Martinez, 87-year-old. She was wearing her nightgown.
They made her walk outside in her nightgown.
They knocked on her
Just
door.
Heartbreaking.
She
was in tears about it.
Knocked on her door early in the morning. Can you imagine when you're 87 years old and someone's knocking on your door, banging on your door early in the morning, and they're telling you you need to come outside and stand outside while we go inside and basically just start looking at all your things in your home, and they don't find anything, but yet they took her computer and they took her cell phone.
So CJ, when we talk about this, what can the Department of Justice do about this?
Well, for one thing, they're asking for an investigation on that. The investigation will start that there was no fraud committed. You know, they targeted LULAC, but I don't understand why they targeted LULAC, because they targeted a female, like he said, that had been in LULAC for 35 years. So they didn't go into LULAC offices. They went into people that were members of LULAC. So I think that investigation really needs to be launched in order to find out what the cause of is, which I think all of us know what the cause of is. We're getting ready to go into an election. Right. And when you have 70
days away.
Yeah, when you have 32 million Latino voters, you've got to try to do something to stop that vote. And that's what I think this is all about, stopping that vote.
Melissa, from your perspective watching this, what is it like seeing this happen in real time for you?
Yes, it's very infuriating because I see Ken Paxton as Trump's #1 lapdog that is going after and taking a page out of his playbook and filing lawsuits going after all minority groups in the state of Texas, women, LGBTQ, and especially the Latino community, and going after all these groups, claiming they are corrupt in some manner, when their primary purpose is to empower the Latino community with the education of the political process and the right to vote. And they are trying to suppress that. The Latino community is the largest population in the state of Texas, and Ken Paxton is trying to suppress that. And that is where, you know, as someone like me with dual citizenship who can legally vote in Mexico and the United States, we are being suppressed. Our group in particular is scary to someone like Ken Paxton and the Trump party.
And for any of you here, what can you do about that? Obviously, you have voting power, but people have re-elected him, even with the cloud of indictments and allegations against him. He was recently cleared when they tried to impeach him in the Texas legislature. But he has a supporter base and people who will put him back into office again and again. What are your options?
I think like Melissa says, I mean, voters need to get active. The Latino community needs to get active, and we need to represent people that actually look after our interests. You know, the real criminal is Ken Paxton. He's actually, he cut a deal, and he's going to do community service at a food bank because he's the one that committed, you know, fraud. And then he's trying to go and incriminate or criminalize other people that he doesn't agree with. So the state of Texas actually says, encourages nonprofits, encourages groups to go out and support and uplift community. But it feels like if you're against Ken Paxton, then the Gestapo comes after you, and then you can't do anything.
All right, we got 30 seconds, guys. Whoever wants to add something.
Ken Paxton, again, is going after nonprofit Latino groups. He went after the Annunciation House in El Paso because they provide shelter for immigrants. They went after Fiel. And judges have ruled in favor of Fiel and have ruled in favor of Annunciation House. But now he's going after members of LULAC that have actually gone out for years and registered people to vote. Again, intimidation, a scare tactic. And again, like Cesar said, we have to register to vote, and we have to make sure that we go out and vote.
And really quick, do you think the end game is to scare people from voting?
Yes.
During election day.
Absolutely, and then there's no coincidence that this happens right before election.
All right, we want to thank you guys for joining us here on The Factor.